Hello, welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast. It's Tara. Welcome. Yeah, this is the podcast we try to figure out why everyone in Port Charles is so miserable. Yeah, I this is an extra chaos episode, because I am not prepared at all. I'm so unprepared that I have only watched one episode as I record this right now. And so I figured I'm going to do, because it's chaos and it does not matter, I am going to literally record my thoughts on Monday's episode because it made me so mad. It made me so mad. And I don't want to sit and be like, oh, let me like refunction all of them to like functioning storylines. No, we're doing episode by episode this week because I have not watched, like I said, it is Sunday, 3:24 Pacific Coast time, and I haven't only watched Monday's episode, and it made me so mad. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like record this, and then I'm gonna go watch Tuesday's episode, and then I'm gonna come back and record that, and then watch Wednesday. You get the joke. You get it. You get it. What I will say, I'm gonna post this on YouTube. It's just gonna have like the first time I posted on YouTube with just like my logo, and it's just me ranting and da 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 da. Last week I did add like visuals, like video from the week. If you like that, throw me a comment on, I think Spotify, you can also see it, but Spotify or YouTube or wherever you can leave me comments, just like let me know that you liked that, because more people still listen. Like, I think my largest listener base is on like Apple Podcasts because like everybody be having an iPhone, but everybody be having YouTube as well. So like, let me know if you want that. If you're like, if I don't get any, you don't have to be like, I don't want it, because I don't need to see like, nah, girl, it sucked. I have feelings too, so I don't need to see that. But if you liked it, just let me know. So like, because if you don't, I don't have to do it. But if you do, like, I don't know, I could try to do it. It takes a little like long to do it the way I did it last time, and I do have a job, so I can't be doing all that. But I could think of something to like make it more than just my logo. But like I said, more people still just listen to it on Apple Podcasts because that's how I've been rocking this entire time, and so I get it. But yeah, let a girl know. Let a girl know. Anyway, so let's talk about Monday's episode. A lot happened, but nothing happened. And I'm gonna start with like regular stuff that happened, and then I'm gonna go back to the thing that made me mad. The reason why I was like, I need to talk about this right now. I need to talk about this right now because I'm mad, right? I left a whole like Twitter post where I was like, I'm not gonna do it this week. I've been so busy, and then I was like, let me start watching some episodes so I can at least have notes. And then I got mad, and I was like, nah, actually, I got something to say. I got something to say this week. So, all right, let's do it. First, we got Rocco finding out that he's a stolen embryo baby. No one's gonna make me care about this man. I'm like, I, as an adult human being on planet Earth in the year of our Lord 2025, can like understand that like you should not use teenagers to go after your enemies. Like, I hear you, I get it. In real life, I'm 100% team that. Don't do that. And on a soap opera with a character I don't like, yeah, do that shit. I don't care. I don't understand how this isn't like more knowledgeable. Like, how do people not know this? Like, I would assume this stuff happened in what, like 2013, I think, because it was like the nurses, but like 2013, 2014, something like that. And so, obviously, Rocco has been sore as whatever, but like, this is Googleable stuff. Like, I imagine that when Britt got arrested for this bullshit, like, the papers were alerted, right? Like, was Lulu a journalist then, or was she still like a just a boat owner? I'm not sure. But like, how is this not? How do you not know this about yourself? That's the crazy thing. Like, at least with like Geo, he was maybe born like, I don't know. 2003 is when E-Verify started, but I guess maybe he was born in 2002 or whatever. And like, we live in a world where Gloria and Lois were able to just like abscond with this baby. But I guess it's more believable in 2003 than it is in 2014. Like, that Rocco wouldn't be able to Google the fact that he's a stolen embryo baby. And so I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I just, like I said, and then, like, okay, so let's break it down. So Rocco's like, Britt Westbourne, tell me about it. Lulu's reaction is hilarious. She's like, I gotta call your dad. Like, girl, answer the question. You don't have to call Dante. You're like, here, I can answer this one question, but now I gotta wait for your dad because it's like a both of us conversation. To be honest, she's just like, I'm calling your dad. Okay, Lulu. She sort of panicked, which I guess, like, you don't expect your son on 4th of July to come at you like, tell me about that woman who stole me as an embryo that one time, raised me for the first 7 months of my life, named me Ben. Um, but so Dante shows up because, like I said, she like lunged at her phone, so Rocco didn't really have a choice. He is trying to get information out of her. He's like, okay, well, like, can you just tell me what the fuck you want to tell me? And she's like, no, we gotta wait for your dad. So like Dante shows up, and there, Lulu's like, so Rocco wants to know about Britt. He's like, okay. Like, great, great, sure. When you want to know about that psychopath who stole you as a embryo, so weird because you're used to like people stealing actual babies. She was out here stealing cells, just implanting them in herself. It's a silly storyline, and that's why, like, I understand people's positions, and I'm not coming for them at all. I'm just saying that it is very hard for me to be on Lulu and Dante. Well, it's not even gonna be Dante's side. I hear. I haven't watched yet, but I heard that it doesn't go the Lante way, and so I'll get back to you on it. Um, put a pin in that. So. Like, it's just very hard to me. As I was saying, it's very hard for me to be like, "Oh my God, Brooklyn, how dare you?" Because the situation is so batshit crazy that, like, yeah, you were stolen when you were a bunch of cells and stuff, and da da da. And so, Rocco all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, because he goes left, like, he goes left, and I'm like, Rocco, why did you go there? Like, what's happening? But he's like, you didn't even want me. Like, if Britt hadn't done what she did, like, you wouldn't even have had me. Because they kind of like dance around, like, Maxie was going to be the surrogate, but it didn't work out. And they don't really talk about, like, well, it didn't work out, but then, a baby was born. It just wasn't theirs. It's Georgie. And so it's so crazy. Everybody tell your kids their fucking origin stories so we can stop doing this. But, he's essentially like, well, because you guys weren't gonna try again, like, you would have just left me in a freezer. And for some reason, Lulu's like, yeah, we could have left you in a freezer, bitch. Why would you say that to him? Like, it's not even a lie to be like, no, like, we were just taking time. Like, do you know how this is when you bust into like economics? You're like, son, do you know how much it costs to like do IVF? Like, we weren't gonna fucking leave him in a freezer. It's just like we had a loss and we needed some time. And then this crazy bitch showed up and just stole you as a freaking embryo. Like, you were just some cells. Like, we would have kept you in our freezer if that was ethical and right in any way. But we didn't want you to like be what our son is just sitting between the peas. Like, it's just this is such a silly. But whatever, he's just like, okay, yeah, I don't know. And so he's just, I mean, he ends it with, like, I just wish that you had, like, I had heard it from you guys. And, like, they had given him the explanation that, like, listen, we had a whole plan to tell you when you were, like, around this age, but then, like, your mom went into a coma, and then, Dante was like, I didn't want to tell you you were a stolen embryo baby by myself. I was hoping you'd Google it, son, because it should be Googleable, to be honest. It should not be a secret. But, nay, that was unfortunately not what happened. And then he lets it drop that Danny found it in Brooklyn's shit, and Lulu knows what time it is. And so he goes upstairs to, like, he's like, I just need to be alone. He's being very much a teenager. Like, I wasn't even worried about it because, like, teenagers do that shit all the time, just want to be alone. But Dante's like, can I just like hang out in case he has more like questions about his time as a stolen embryo baby? And it's such a funny storyline. I'm sorry. If you feel very strongly about this, you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying that my like, something in me won't allow me to, because it's ridiculous. Um, And Lulu's like, yeah, hang out, and I gotta go. I'm gonna go put hands on that bitch. Dante's kind of like, no, don't do that, and then and then just lets her. To be honest, he's just like, yeah, go punch her, like. Because what else can you do at that point, right? Like Brooklyn got her licking, and so Lulu goes to close fist slap Brooklyn, which I thought was weird. Like, it's a weird slap, but whatever. I mean, sure. But that's where they end on Monday. Good times, good times. Now let's do Geo. Geo is a dummy. I just need that to be known. Geo is so dumb. And I'm sure I'm going to elaborate more about this in the next episode because I hear he shows up in the next episode. But so Tracy last week was like, Sonny is bad and he has people who go after his loved ones, and you're his loved one, so you are in danger. And he was like, you can't tell me what to do. I don't fuck with you. And it's like, all right. I don't know why you're so mad at these people, but sure. Emma comes back because it's still 4th of July. Remember how I told you how long it's going to be 4th of July in Port Charles? I don't know. I'll let you know by the end of the episode if we switch days. But Emma comes and he's like, I'm so confused because everything I know about Sonny is great. And he's nice to me and he's loyal and he's this and he's that. But Tracy says he's bad, and who do I believe? Am I just silly? Am I stupid? Am I a dummy? Yeah, Gio, you are a dummy, because what are you talking about? Like Rocco, this is all information you should be able to Google. Why you need to even talk to anybody? Just Google the man. Like, Google all the people who got blown up and shot, and with Michael literally just getting back from a burn clinic because he got firebombed in Sonny's apartment. Christina just got out the hospital because she got firebombed at Charlie's. But you like, ooh, what is Tracy telling the truth? Stop. Like, stop. You don't have to have these people be ignorant to support Sonny. Like, you don't have Carly and Jason. I mean, to a certain extent, yes. But, you don't have Carly and Jason being this naive to what time it is with Sonny. Where he was like, I just thought he was a coffee importer. Please stop, Gio. You had to have grown up in two separate families that had whispers about what the coffee that Sonny was importing. Wink, wink. But we had to have this whole freaking scene where Emma's like, listen, if you want to know about the man, go ask somebody. So he asked Carly because he worked for her, and she has this whole thing where she's like, well, Sonny didn't choose the thug life. Thug life chose him. Couple things. Sonny 100% chose the thug life because his backstory has personally been retconned about 12,000 times on the show. And the earliest iteration, when he was if you watch from when he started to when he actually joins the mob, he was never a mobster. He ran a strip club, and then he had to join the mob because he got arrested for having underage girls on the pole, and he got Frank Smith to let him out, to bail him out and stuff on the condition that he joined his little mob empire, and that's how he got teamed up with Luke. That's how he met Laura. That's why they're besties. And so it's kind of silly that now, all of a sudden, and because you had to make Sonny a more tolerable character, they kind of gave him this well, he fell into the mob's life as a child, because that's a more sympathetic backstory than a guy who had underage girls on the pole and who joined the mob to get out of jail. To be honest. So every time they're like, it's not his fault, I just chuckle because even though I love this character, like I've said, Sonny's my favorite character, and I say this with the knowledge that he had underage girls on the pole. I understand. Like I said, if this was a real life person, he wouldn't be my favorite. This is a soap, and so I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Don't take it as a personal slight on my character. But every time I hear the backstory, it makes me laugh. But yeah, Carly's didn't choose a thug life. Gio is like, well, maybe I'll talk to his son, since like she brought up that Dante and Michael have wrestled with Sonny's lifestyle, and like sometimes they fuck with him, sometimes they don't. And of course that makes you think that he's gonna talk to Dante, but why would he talk to Dante? He don't fuck with Dante. I'm not dumb, show. Stop treating me like I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I know he's gonna go talk to Michael because it's the only son he got left. And so he's gonna go talk to Michael, which is probably how he ends up at the Quartermains while Lulu is slapping Brooklyn with a closed fist. I get it. That's Geo. Um, Carly had saw Jocelyn. She had seen her, and she was looking up Kane from YNR, and then Carly came. She's like, oh, "I gotta close it," and she essentially is like, I should hang out with you more, but you know, I can't because I'm a spy, whatever. Dollar Tree Dex shows up. She goes a little like spy shit with him. They decide that he's gonna honeypot Emma. So we got a honeypot within a honeypot. So he's honeypotting Emma. Emma's honeypotting came from YNR. I don't know if Jocelyn's honeypotting came from YNR, but she's adjacent to Dollar Tree Dex's honeypot. Geo's adjacent to Emma's honeypot. There's a lot of honeypotting going on. Honeypot summer, okay? Um, they fake break up because they made out. We still have. Are they together? Are they together? I There's a huge chunk of this show I did not watch because I was in protest, and I'm not gonna go back and watch it. So I don't even know how this Dollar Tree Jex came to be. I don't even know who this man is. I just know he's a spy who's pretending to be a janitor. And so like he's like, let's fake break up, even though we kissed last week, we didn't talk about it. They fake break up. Emma, they've decided to make Emma a dummy. And I feel like there's a huge chunk of fans who are not happy about that at all. Because I am friends with a lot of Anna Devane fans who I know are Emma Scorpio Drake fans because that is her granddaughter. And I cannot imagine that they like that Emma is a dummy. Because Emma completely falls for the honeypot. And he's just like, ooh, girl, Jocelyn is such a snob, and I love animals. And she's like, oh my God, do you? Yay, let me get you a drink. Okay. And so, even if she just doing it to, like, make Jocelyn mad, and she don't even like Dollar Tree Decks, she still be a honeypotted. Like, who gives a shit? There's still a honeypot. It, but that's happening. What else happened on Monday? Oh yeah, you have Sonny was because you know last week Laura went to see Sonny in jail. Oh, he was in the Jason Morgan Memorial Interrogation Room, so he wasn't in jail yet. But she went to see him in the room, and he, to ask about the prophecy about winter coming to Port Charles, and he was like, I didn't want it to be true. I didn't want it to be true, but it's true. They coming for me, and they gonna come for you. And so she's like, oh my God, what do we do? The creepy dude who's trying to steal Laura's job, who's teamed up with Drew, the one who gets sex workers, which I'm not mad at, like, what a sex worker does to, like, support themselves, but, like, fuck that man, right? Fuck that man. He's just outside waiting. And for some reason, like, Sonny is constantly like, Laura, you gotta cut me loose, girl, because I'm a criminal and I'm not gonna stop being a criminal. And she's like, I will not. I don't back off my friends. Now when we're in danger from a white East African warlord, we gotta stick together. And so it's so funny. And so she's like, you're stuck with me. And then they hug, and then that creepy man just busts out, starts filming them. Like, look at this. The mayor, he's hugging a criminal. At the same time, Anna Devane gets the autopsy report from the hospital. She goes to the PCPD, and she tells Sonny that, like, homophobe Maria Santos killed herself. Unfortunately, we don't know if it was on purpose or an accident, but she definitely did that shit herself. You can go. And the creepy man is so mad. He is so funny. He's just all like, oh, isn't that convenient? Like, Sonny Corinthos is a mobster. Like, of course he can make someone look like they killed themselves. And you know what? The sad part is that the creepy man's not wrong. Like, he's definitely not wrong. The only reason we know that that's not what happened is because they literally showed us what happened. And I still think it was a mistake. I should be talking about how like maybe Sonny didn't, maybe he did do it, but he had to do it, or he didn't do it. He would never. I don't know what time it would be for me if I thought Sonny might have done it. Do I just immediately start defending his ass and why he had to kill her, like because she was a homophobe? He was saving. It was a bigger picture thing, or do I like he didn't do it? That's too stupid. That's too obvious. I don't know what I would be, but like it doesn't matter because they told us that she did it herself. And Anna's like, yeah, that seems what's up. That seems like what time it was. Get out of here, creepy man. Laura and Sunny bounce. They like go separate ways, looking at the fireworks. And Latino's son though he don't he was with Anna when she got the report. He goes to see his dad. He's like, listen, they said that it was accident and it looks like an accident and it looks like no one did it, but I think Sonny did it. And of course, white East African warlord don't give a shit. He's like, he definitely did it, son. We gonna get his ass. So their team get his ass against Sonny. Now let's get. Oh, final thing before I get to the thing that made me mad. Michael and Sasha's little affair baby went missing, and I know from just around the bend on X, Twitter, well, I don't know what to call it, but I just know that it's Willow. But I'll get to it when I get to it. But the baby missing, Sasha freaking out. Now let's talk about it. So like, the reason I was like, I have to talk about this now, and I'm just gonna get all these things done, and I'm gonna chaos it and get it done in a few hours, hopefully. So they had this scene where like I'm supposed to believe that Cody and Brooklyn haven't been talking to each other since the nurses' ball. First of all, Cody, you can get fired. You can go away. You can get a different job someplace else. What the fuck you mean you're not talking to me over some shit that's not even your business? But essentially, they haven't been talking to each other because of like Brooklyn, like quote. I'm putting this in quotation marks because I disagree. Lying to him, in unquote. Nobody owed Cody Bell an explanation. You were owed an explanation less than Lulu was owed an explanation. What are you talking about? You owe her an explanation for why you told Lulu her fucking business that was not your business to tell. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is this show? Everybody, and like, if y'all hate women, that's fine. But like, be real about it. Because what do you mean? Cody fucking Bell was owed some explanation about what Brooklyn did with her baby. I didn't even owe you an explanation for why I needed a ride back to the bus station that night. To be honest, but I told you because I thought you were decent, and you held it for what, like 22 years, and then went and told Dante's ex-wife that you just met 2 weeks ago my whole fucking business, my deep dark teenage secret. Couldn't wait to tell this bitch that you shared a lollipop with one fucking time. But I'm the bad guy. I owe you an explanation. I owe you an apology. This show needs to be so fucking serious. Be so serious right now. Like, you want to entertain this, like, well, she should have told Dante, he should have had a say. I, fine. I disagree. I disagree, but that is a position that one could have. This, I will not entertain the position that Lulu or Cody were owed anything. They weren't owed anything. Them two blonde bitches need to mind their fucking business and get their own storyline. Stop minding other people's secrets for storylines. How about that? How about that? But yeah, pretty much what happened in a nutshell is like Brooklyn was like, obviously we cannot not talk to each other in this house. So what we about to do? He's like, well, I felt some type of way because I was lied to, and she was like, well, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry other people lied to you. Sorry I didn't tell you my fucking business. I'm sorry I didn't correct you when you made the assumption that I had an abortion. And then he was like, yeah, I did assume that, didn't I? And then they kind of like hugged it out. And that's supposed to be this like super mature, like, oh my God, look at this. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because even the implication that Brooklyn owed Cody anything besides gas money is fucking crazy. Hate it. hate everything about it. Talk about, oh, you made me lie to my best friend. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care about that. My son's not talking to me. You think I care that I made you lie to your best friend when you were 16? I don't give a shit. Fuck you, bruh. But whatever. That's pretty much all I have on Monday's episode. I'm gonna be right back. I will be back in 1 second for y'all. Probably about like probably like 40 minutes for me. But I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're back. That was that took forever. Tuesday's episode was just like the longest episode I've ever seen. I was like, okay, well, sure, yeah, okay. So much happened, but then nothing happened, and it was mostly an episode where like a bunch of mothers were either calling each other bad mothers or liars, or they were being called crazy. They were getting yellow wallpapered. Like Tuesday's episode is just like, okay, let's let's start with okay, so you got least important thing that's just sort of happening. Latino son, we pick up from Latino son who's still upset that homophobe Marie Santos unalived herself. And his dad, White East African Warlord, is pretty much just like, son, let your anger over your mother unaliving herself turn to hate for Sonny. And then he tells him about the like son, like, you know how homophobe Maria Santos knew about Sonny's heart condition, MacGuffin, and then she told home like White East African Warlord, and like he was like, well, clearly that's why Sonny had to kill her. And Latino son's like, that makes sense. And so now he's extra mad, and they're like vowing to kill Sonny together. Wanted to get that out the way. You also have this very weird scene where like Mac is in the episode, and there is a point where we think a baby is missing, but is Mac dealing with that? No, no, he's not. He's trying to get Molly Lansing Davis to date his son, and Felicia is the audience being super embarrassed and cringe the entire time. And the baby that was missing is related to Mac. It's Sasha's baby. And so it's Robert's granddaughter. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to send an officer about that. How about you try and date my son who's busy honeypotting Ava? And so just wanted to get that out the way. Then you have this like, so Portia and Liz are at the pool, and Liz is kind of like, "Oh my god, girl, thank you for bringing me to the pool because I could tell that your marriage is falling apart. You want to talk about that?" But they never actually talk about it because first Rick comes over and starts stalking her, and everyone's like, "Aren't you dating Ava?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, but who cares? Who cares? You want to go to the symphony with me, girl? Like, let's go to the symphony." But then he gets a phone call that Ava spent a bunch of the stolen toddler blackmail money. And so he's like, oh, I cannot stay and talk about this. But think about it, girl. Do you want to come? And so Liz is like, I don't know. Like, I know that, like, last time we were married, he locked Carly in a panic room. But, you know, he's very funny. He's nice to me. And Portia is kind of like, you know what, girl? Be a slut. Do whatever you want. But also be smart about it. And so Liz is like 10 seconds from dating Rick again, to be honest. And I'm not even going to blame Christina. It's not Christina's fault. Like, he literally locked a woman in a panic room last time y'all were together, and he's done a bunch of heinous ass shit since. And you're still like, well, he makes me laugh. So, whatever happens to Liz next is what happened to her. That's not on Christina. And y'all know how much I hate her. But yeah, they talk about that. Rick goes to see Ava. Ava is with Nina, who's literally only in this episode so we can learn some that Willow's crazier than we thought, and I'll get to that in a second. But Nina goes to see Ava, who's like getting ready for the repeat Joel Satori art exhibit episode because we've already done this before with a different Trina, but we're doing it again with the new Trina, and so she's like, "Hey, girl, Willow's still marrying Drew. I'm still irritated by it." And Ava's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry that Rick couldn't like help Willow get her kids, but I think it's Elizabeth's fault because he was with Elizabeth the morning of that case and not in Beecher's Corners working on it. Like, what was being in Beecher's Corners gonna do to help Willow, to be honest? Nina's like, okay, like, if he's cheating on you, girl, you should leave him. And Ava's like, no, we're good together. And so that's happening. At the same time, like, Rick shows up to cuss Ava out because she spent all the stolen toddler blackmail money on lights, apparently. I'm like, how much do the fucking lights cost, Ava? Jesus. Where he's like, you drained two accounts for some lights? Girl. But whatever. She's like, who cares because you bought Elizabeth juice. Rick is like, okay, sorry. Like, me buying that whole juice is gonna get us put in jail, bitch. Like, be so fucking serious. And then Cody shows up all late to like hang paintings or pictures of animals. And I don't know if Rick got jealous because he was like, "What? What's this man doing here?" And he's like, "I gotta hang the paintings." And he kind of looked like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. And she's like, you're still gonna come? And he's like, yeah, sure. But he was looking at her the way he was looking at Nina when he was married to Nina. Like, I don't really like you. I don't really want to be with you. So, Rick and Ava, it was cute for a second. And now it's like, this is getting sad. This is getting sad. But then like Cody is like hanging the paintings or like measuring to hang the paintings or whatever, and he kisses Ava, and Ava is like, okay, like thank you so much for that. And he's like, oh, cause like she wasn't like, yay. She was just kind of like, that was nice, but also what's happening? I thought we were just hanging paintings. And so he kind of takes it like, oh. And so then she kind of slaps him because I think she was like, maybe this will like let him know that he shouldn't have done that. But also, I don't really care. And then he's like, my bad, I'll just go. And she's like, bruh, what are you talking about? I still need the paintings hung. Which, I, that's why I can't ever get rid of Ava. I hate that bitch, but she's so funny. She's so funny because she was like, "Bruh, I still need the paintings hung. I was just because you technically assaulted me. I'm not gonna call the police. Just don't do it again. Hang the damn paintings." And so I'm still rooting for those two. I'm still rooting for those two. I don't know why. Sorry, Molly and Mac. I'm not feeling it. Um, but that's their storyline. Just get that out the way. Anything else happen? Okay, so like but it's like a Christina moment. I totally forgot Christina was in a fire. I'd be forgetting about Christina, to be honest. But I know I did just talk about her, but I totally forgot about her in the episode. And then I looked through my notes, and then there's Christina. She was at Alexis's house. Christina sounded like a psychopath in this episode. Like, she's with Alexis, they're eating popcorn. She got her little burn thing, because, oh, I got burned. That burn's not going to be there next week, so it doesn't matter. But, ooh, she was burned. And she's with Alexis, and she's like, oh my god, I feel like me trying to murder two people, like, makes it change the way you see me. While she's like smiling like a Cheshire cat. It's so weird. I was like, Christina, you are a sociopath. Like, you are so crazy. But Alexis, she's a terrible mother. She was like, I did it because, like, you were going through stuff and you shouldn't have to go to jail for your crimes that you commit when you're going through stuff. Like, girl, you're a fucking lawyer. Like, that's my argument for Sonny. Like, Sonny's constantly going through stuff, which is why he should be allowed to commit crimes. But that's why I'm not a lawyer, to be honest. Like, girl. But then Christina, psychopath, psychotic, sociopathic Christina. It's just like, I feel like you're not even really doing this for me. You're really doing this for Molly because, like, you don't want Molly to know that, like, I tried to kill her dad. Bitch. She's like, I'm doing this for both of my girls. Bitch, Molly's not going to see it that way. Molly's not going to see it that way. And we all know she's not going to see it that way. And they're like setting this up because they know Kristen Vaganos, who plays Molly, can like, is going to read these two for fucking filth. And her dad and Ava. Everyone's getting read. That's the only thing we can look forward to with this whole godforsaken story at this point is that Kristen Vaganos will finally get Emmy bait for 2026 because she was robbed this year of her Emmy because like only Kate Mansi and Nancy Lee Grahn got nominated, and I'm sure Kate Mansi got nominated for that dead baby storyline, and Molly should got a nod for that too, because I think Nancy may have submitted the Sam's death shit. But whatever, we're not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about the Emmys in this episode. I'm sorry. There's other places. I'm pretty sure Sunday Shift is gonna dedicate a good chunk of their podcast to it, and they have way more coherent, less chaotic thoughts than me. Like they're Tracy was like, "We're trying to not swear anymore." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so classy. Like, should I stop swearing?" And I was like, "No, no, I'm not going to do that." But I love that they're doing that because they're classy women. I'm friends with both of them. Love them. Anyway, moving on. That was Christina, honestly. Like Rick shows up to like get more stolen blackmail toddler money, and Christina's like, "Hi, I'm here with my burn." Because I guess Rick doesn't know that Christina knows about the blackmail, and he's like, "Oh, my bad. I was looking for Molly. Like, I can go." Because he was really like, "Bitch, I don't care what time it is. Get up. We get some money. Get the checkbook out, bitch." And like, here's Christina like, "I'm injured." The whole Christina shtick. And so that was very funny. And then so he left, and Alexis was like, "Awesome, thank you for doing that." And she was like, "It's the plan, girl. I'm being smart this time." And it's like, Christina, you are never smart. You are the biggest dummy in the world. But every once in a while, you be eaten down. And so whatever, that's them. The rest of this is like both stories irritate me because first let's do Daisy being kidnapped. So like Sasha's like, "Oh my god, my baby's missing. What's going on? I'm freaking out." And like people look in all the places, they can't find this baby. But the baby ends up being found in the living room. And I'm like, "But y'all looked in the living room. Like, did you not look anywhere? You just took Sasha at her word. You didn't like someone had to look in the living room and say that that baby wasn't there, so someone could back up her story. There's a million off-screen people, but none of them back up Sasha's story. And instead of being like, okay, well, Christina was just firebombed, and Michael just got back from being firebombed, and we know that there's a mob war brewing in Port Charles. Maybe someone's kidnapping Sonny Corinthos' grandchild because everybody knows that Sonny Corinthos' granddaughter. Instead, they're all like, no, Sasha must be going crazy. She must be mad. It's all the baby making hormones. They've clouded her judgment, and now we must protect this precious infant from this mad woman. Send her to the room with the yellow wallpaper. What the fuck? Why are you yellow wallpapering Sasha? Stop it. Stop it. Stop yellow wallpapering her. I will not have it. And if you don't understand that reference, go look it up. Just Google yellow wallpaper and feminine madness. And you'll find the damn short story. And so, like, stop it. Why? Why is it so hard to believe this baby might be kidnapped? It's ridiculous. And then, like, we learn at the end of the episode, because, like, Willow just appears at the end of the episode, because they started doing that, where, like, they'll have characters that are in no way, shape, or form in this episode just appear midway through or at the end. And so, like, Willow just appears at the end because Nina was like, "I'm going to meet Willow." She appears, and we learn that she's the one who's been kidnapping this baby, which you think would be a gag moment. Like, oh my god, I'm gagged. But I'm not gagged because we all called it being Willow. And then, like, you hear, so Sasha was at the boathouse with, like, Brooklyn and Michael and Cody. And then she hears the baby crying on the monitor. She has the monitor with her. And then she goes to the baby's missing. But like when they do the flashback of Willow kidnapping this baby, she gives like the fucking monologue. She's like a whole fucking monologue. This is why I can't stop swearing. Because the show won't allow it. She gives a whole fucking monologue about like, oh, your mom betrayed me and your dad won't let me see my kids. And so I'm going to kidnap you for a second. I'm going to make them yellow wallpaper your mom. Why didn't that get picked up on the baby monitor? The baby monitor only picks up cries. It doesn't pick up crazy bitches monologuing to children, to infants. Like, This is why I can't with this show. This is why I can't. But I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue on because why not? I said I would. Moving on to the final story. So obviously it's like Brooklyn getting slapped close fisted by fucking Lulu. And, Brooklyn, for her credit, because I'm standing by my girl Brooklyn. For her credit, she really stood 10 toes down and all of that. She was just like, girl, I thought you didn't lie to your kid. What the hell? Like, why are you mad at me? Be mad at yourself because I thought because you a hypocrite. Like, you say you don't lie to your kids. She was like, how was I supposed to tell my kid I was in a coma? She was like, I don't know, bitch. Wake up and tell him. Like, you've been away for months. Maybe if you weren't too busy in my fucking business, then you would have had time to tell him. And I was like, right? Gag her ass. Gag her. But then here comes Geo, angry ass Geo. And now here's the thing. I think we all knew that Geo was gonna be mad. Like there was never a reality where he thought Brooklyn was cute for this. I don't think any of us thought it was cute. We just didn't care. Like I think there's a difference between being like, yeah, hurt this child and being like, I don't actually care if she hurts this fictional child with some information he should have already known. And I love that she kept saying that. Like everybody knows this except for him. And so but Jill was like, "You hurt my brother," and blah, blah, blah. He's a kid. He's just a babe. Okay. My issue is that he came in hot. He was like, "Stop it!" When Brooklyn was like yelling at Lulu, why are you already defending her? Why are you already defending her? Get out of my face. Like, okay, this storyline is just so sexist. Like, it's literally two women like judging each other's birth stories and the very complex, complicated choices they had to make under really fucked up circumstances. And like, you can just tell that the story is written by men or women who hate women. That's what I'll say, to be honest. But obviously Geo's extra mad and he's like, I don't ever wanna have you in my life as a mother and she's sad. And I feel bad for Brooklyn. Like everybody in the story besides Brooklyn and Chase can go to hell, to be honest. Even Geo. Cause I'm over it. But finally we got Rocco calling Jason so he can have the most inappropriate conversation with this child about Brit. And he's asking questions about Brit. Oh, was she a good person? Because everybody I've asked said she was terrible. But then she saved Jocelyn. And she's on the wall of fucking heroes at GH. So I'm confused. Which is valid. It's a very valid thing to be confused about. Because I am also confused, Rocco. Why is she on that wall? Who cares? Like, but Jason's just like, yeah, it was complicated. Like, to be honest, I wasn't in town for any of her evil era. And I came back. She was kind of doing evil because she was working for Cyrus Renault and helping him push drugs to the hospital. But then she realized that wasn't okay. And she went on the road with me. And I banged her in a lighthouse. And she turned into a good person to power my penis. And he was like, also, I think it was giving birth to you because being a mother changes you because stupid fucking men write this show. And he was like, oh, that's so interesting. I could have had a whole different life. He started thinking about his weird Ben Westbourne life. And then, Jason's just out here giving deeply inappropriate answers. Like, I think that she's a good person. Maybe other people don't think that, and they don't have to, but I think she was a good person. She was doing good stuff. And I think my penis and your penis, I guess, being inside of her, both of the penises being inside of her, turned her into a good person. Okay, sure. And so now he's like, ooh, is Britt a good person? Jason leaves, runs into Lulu. Lulu rightfully, and this only sort of like coins I'm gonna give her. Lulu rightfully is like, you don't talk to my son about that raggedy bitch who stole him when he was a clump of cells. What the fuck? I don't care about you banging her in a lighthouse. He's like, he had a right to know and left. And so that's pretty much Tuesday's episode. Whew, a lot happened. Most of it I did not care for, to be honest, but I got through it. And so I'll be right back. I'll be back in like literally a second for y'all. I gotta go watch Wednesday's episode. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Wednesday. Wednesday. I don't know how I feel about Wednesday. Like, important stuff needed to happen Wednesday, and it did. But also, it did feel like a chore watching the episode. But I did it. I got through it. We have like the setting up of the repeat Joel Satori exhibit episode with a different Trina, which I think is so funny because like that was Trina's big first exhibit that she did at the gallery. Instead of having her do another one of those things or even leading it herself, it's being used as this weird Ava honeypot Rick stalking Liz fucking story. Sure, okay. Like, Molly's in a weird pentagon shaped love pentagon with her own dad. Uh, that's the kind of bullshit you'd expect from Wednesday from Wednesday's episode if you don't watch. But yeah, so we get like Trina's at the gallery, at the exhibit she didn't set up this time because Ava had to be honeypotted, and she's like waxing poetic about unattractive biracial ex football player while he's literally across town at the Metro Court betraying her entire family. Like that's what's happening, and he's really like they're writing him like a freaking like sociopath. Like I know that's like my word of the day for some reason, but like it's the best word to use because like what else can I say? They're like literally writing him to be like I really respect Curtis and Portia, but what they're doing is wrong. You either respect these people or you don't. Like if they're hiring sex workers to speak to lie on a man, then you probably shouldn't respect them if that's what you think they're doing. But this weird trying to have him half in, half out, like, oh, I just feel so bad about betraying these people I think are doing a terrible thing. Like, huh? What? But he has this whole thing with Drew where he's like, oh, I just gotta own up to what I did. And you think he means with Trina, which I assume we're gonna get to at some point this week, but like he ends at Curtis's office, and I'm like, why are you talking to Curtis first? Like, talk to Trina, end your relationship before, and then maybe like try to get to her dad before she does. But he goes because Curtis had just talked to Felicia, and Felicia was like, so I found that sex worker lady, and she's down. She's like gotta get some shit from her apartment in Australia, and then she's down to clown. Let's go. She's coming back to Port Charles. He's like, bet. Jordan shows up, that loser, to like be like, oh my god, like let me accidentally on purpose tell you how Portia threw a drink on me and tell you how I have to like end our torrid emotional affair that we've been having for fucking weeks at this point. And like Curtis is like, oh my god, no, you're my bestie. But yeah, you're right. It's disrespectful to both you and my wife because it is. Like, because it absolutely is. And then they both look all like sad, like, oh my god, I can't believe we have to stop our emotional affair. That's completely inappropriate, to be honest. Like, leave your wife if you want to leave your wife. Like, Curtis, if you want to keep ping ponging between these two women, then do that. But, like, don't act like that's not what you two are doing. Loser behavior. But she leaves, and Felicia comes back, and it's pretty much like Drew got to the sex worker. Because, ex unattractive ex football player narked, and now he's outside looking like, oh, gee, golly, wish did I do that, sir? Like the end it all, end it all. To be honest, but you know, yeah, what's unattractive biracial ex football player leaves the pool so we can go look sad in front of Curtis's office. Willow shows up. Now her ass had just got read by Carly at General Hospital. We don't ever see Willow work. We don't ever see Willow work. We either see her getting read or reading someone at the hospital. That's all we ever see her do. But this time she was getting read. Carly was like, I saw what you did. And it's that big like setup to be like, what? Because we just found out on Tuesday's episode that Willow's running around kidnapping babies. She's like, what do you mean? Just for Carly to be like, I found out that she showed up at the pool and confused Wiley, and pretty much tells her if she does that shit again, then she gonna ban her from the pool. Like, I'm gonna ban you from the pool, girl. That's what's good. I own this hotel, so act right. So Willow goes to like narc to Drew, like, oh my god, like all I did was break a court order and now everyone's acting all up in arms. Drew's like, that's right, but also you did break a court order, girl. Don't do that. And she's like, well, like Michael has like our children and his little love child with Sasha, and my arms are empty. And like, girl, Scout lives in that house. Drew literally used Scout to convince unattractive biracial ex football player to betray black people. He was like, "Oh my God, it's not just Willow and her kids; it's Scout because she's got a dead mom and she can't see her brother because I won't allow it." And like she was bonding with Willow's kids, but then their family, rescued them from us. And so, oh my God, thank you so much. And like Willow's just like, without my children, I have nothing. I have nothing. I don't know who that little girl is. I don't care. Like, that's someone else's child. Like, if she wants a mother, send her to the cemetery. Willow is trash. Willow is fucking trash. And I didn't say this on Tuesday's episode, but I'm going to say it now. I need everyone in this town to stop talking about how Drew is bringing her down because, like, she's bringing herself down, man. She has 100% chose this life. She said, "This is my life, and it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever." And so, what are we talking about? Like, oh my God, Drew is making her make terrible choices. No, he's not. She's making all these choices on her own. He's starting to make better choices, at least more strategic ones. And she's like, no, life's unfair, and I'm going to operate in the ways in which I think life should operate, in the ways that I find fair, which is crazy. Like, she's insane. And so, that's pretty much Drew, Willow, Curtis, Felicia, Jordan, and unattractive ex football player. Moving on, then you have the whole Cody, Christina, Molly, Rick, Ava, Liz of it all. It's so messy. It's so messy. So Cody goes to see Christina, right? Because like he is so confused about the honeypot mission because Ava was like that was a good kiss, but then she gave him some weak slap, so he was like, "I'm slapped." Obviously, she doesn't want me, but then she didn't throw him out. And so when he relays all this to Christina, Christina's like, "What are you talking about? Like, if she didn't if she didn't stab you with a paper opener, like, I don't I don't understand what the problem is. Like, you still in the game, my guy. Get back out there." And then Molly shows up, and Molly can see that they got their heads together. And she's like, "So what y'all talking about?" Christina immediately is like, "Oh, Cody's such a good guy. He tries to pretend like he's not, but he's great." Um, and Molly, you can tell she kind of likes him. And so she's like, "Oh, you dressed up really nice. Where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm going to Ava's gallery. I'm gonna go check out the animal pictures because I'm a basic man, but I like animals. Like, and I hung the pictures, so I'm gonna go see that." Um, so he leaves. Molly's like, "Bitch, what the fuck?" Christina's like, "What? What? I didn't do anything. All I've been doing was sitting here. I sat here. What you talking about?" She's like, "This is the one time in your life that you don't want to cuss out Ava when I need you to actually cuss out Ava." Christina's like, "Why you need me to cuss out Ava? Like, all y'all do is tell me to stop obsessing about Ava, and I finally decided to embody that, and now you mad?" She's like, "Well, we gotta save Cody from Ava." Christina, rightfully so. This is the weird part about Christina, because sometimes it's episode to episode with her, episode to episode. Because some episodes she dumb as fuck. Like yesterday, she was dumb and kind of psychotic. Today, she's kind of like she's still a little psychotic, but she kind of eaten. Because she was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me back it up." So like you need me to save Cody from Ava, but not your daddy, who's currently dating Ava? Make it make sense. And you know what, Christina, you right. You right. You gagged her with that a little bit. And not even. She wasn't even gagged. She refused to be gagged. She was like, "Yeah. Yeah, because my dad is kind of slimy like Ava, so he can handle himself. But Cody don't deserve that. Cody don't deserve Ava." And it's weird to me that they cozying up together. Like, why? Like, she was all feeling him at the pool and shit, and now he hanging painting for her. I don't like that. Christina's like, they were cozying up at the pool. Like, tell me more. Like a psychopath, right? Like, girl, you could tell your sister like this man, and you still like, well, I'm paying him the honeypot. I'm helping your dad. I'm helping everybody. I'm helping Molly. I'm helping Rick. Even though I hate him, Somehow she probably convinced herself she helped Ava. Like, because Rick don't want her. And so Christina is so crazy. Um, but Cody goes to the gallery and, he's like, I'm very sorry about assaulting you. The light assault I did last night. Wanted to make it up. Just come by and, see if you need anything done and let you know, hands to myself. Ava, you can tell she's into it. You can tell she's into it because Rick don't want her. Like, Rick don't want her. And she can tell Rick don't want her. But they're so deep in the let's blackmail a toddler plan that they're in that they can't break up. They're like bound together through the blackmail of Alexis Davis, embezzling money from a toddler. And so Ava's like, it's fine, it's okay. A girl likes to be lightly assaulted sometimes, which is a terrible message, to be honest. But that's what the show's going with. You know who writes this. Y'all know who writes this. And so she's like, that's good. I'm gonna pick up these boxes. He's like, a lady doesn't pick up boxes. He picks up the boxes. He's like, girl, you too good to be picking up boxes. Remember who you are. You hosting a party. You don't need picking up boxes. You need something picked up. You called me. And then he kind of disappears. Rick is just stalking the hell out of Elizabeth. Like, just, hey, Liz, how are you? I'm here. Just like immediately after already doing that to her. It's Wednesday episode where we stopped being in July 4th. It's July 5th now, I guess. I don't know. But he ran up on her at the hospital at her job. She's at work. Lucas tried to like help her. Like, I need you to help me do doctor things, Nurse Baldwin. And she was like, bruh, I'm good. Like, you get another nurse to help you with the doctor things. Like, I'm going to talk to this man. And so she talks to Rick. Rick is like, I feel so bad about having to abandon you last night. Remember, because I just recorded Tuesday. I recorded Tuesday's episode like an hour ago. I know y'all just heard it, but for me, it was an hour ago. I remember that Liz was there with Portia and he ran up on her. So he did not abandon her. He, like, intruded on her girls' night. But now he's like, I'm just so rude for having to abandon you at our plans last night. You didn't have plans with her last night, sir. What are you talking about? What do you mean? But he's like, we should do something tonight. Tonight is the repeat episode of the Joe Sartori exhibit that he's supposed to be going to support Ava with. Remember that? She's like, I am actually busy tonight because I am going to the Joel Sartori repeat episode gallery opening. Laura got me tickets. He's like, oh my god, girl, so am I. We should go together. Are you trying to date Elizabeth in front of Ava's fucking face? Is that what you're doing, my guy? Because that is disrespect. I don't even like Ava. But what the hell? Why are you doing that? But Liz is like, okay, so like, obviously we vibe. Like, we've been married several times. And we vibe. We know we vibe. But I don't want to see you mix signals, my guy. I'm not trying to be with you. Like, I'm really not trying to be with you. And I can feel like even though you are dating a different woman, I could feel you trying to be with me. And I'm not trying to be with you. And so, but also Liz is kind of giving, if you work hard enough, I will be with you energy, to be honest. Like, she's not, you know, letting them down like hard. It's just every once in a while, because like even when she's talking to people, she's like, well, we vibe so well and like in a different world. Girl, date this man or don't date him. Date him or don't date him. But you what you definitely cannot do is be his friend. You should already know you cannot be this man's friend. That he's just gonna constantly try to be with you. And so it's really like, do you want to be with him or do you not want to be with him? Because if you don't want to be with him, you gotta cut his ass off like you usually do. But she don't really do that. He's like, well, I'm gonna see you at the exhibit. Bye. Um, Liz and Lucas talk, and Lucas is like, girl, you wanna be with that man? You wanna be with him? You don't want to be with him. Like, set the boundaries, but like, if he step over the boundaries, it's gonna be you and Aunt Ava, you, him, and Aunt Ava, and good luck with that. Good luck with that. But Lucas got his own problems because he's in his West Side Story era, and he's busy asking his sister Carly. He's trying to get her from like, cause Carly wrote up to Willow, like I said, don't come to the MetroCorp pool and see them kids again and see what happened, right? And Willow like, how can you be so cruel? She was like, bitch, you calling me cruel? What did you call my son again when he was fighting for his life? Absentee father Michael? Like, bitch, I slapped the shit out of you. Lucas like, girl, come here, come here, come here. Thank you for coming, thank you for coming. And Lucas is like, hey, I need you to keep my boyfriend safe from your ex husband because I'm pretty sure he's gonna kill him. Carly was like, why would he kill him? Is he involved with his daddy? Like, did he do something to my son? Because I'll kill his ass, to be honest. Lucas is like, I don't know. Like, he swears that he is not a part of the East African warlord business side of things, but also I don't know. And now he's extra hot on Sunny. And so I kind of need you to intercede and keep my man from getting got. And so Carly's like, okay. At the same time, Rick is not Rick, fucking Sunny and Jason. Why am I saying Rick? Uh did I don't think I finished the Rick thing. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me go back. Lucas is fine. I'm gonna go back to Sunny and Jason. Let me finish Rick. I got caught up with Liz and Lucas and da 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 da. So this is why it's chaos episode. Chaos. Anyway, so Rick goes to the gallery with like flowers and some more stolen toddler money. And Ava's like, oh, flowers, stolen toddler money. What's this? And Rick is like, look, I went to Alexis and I got you a special art gallery account that you could use for the art gallery because you taking too much money. But I hate that we fought because I actually need you to keep getting this embezzled toddler money. So I need to keep dating you, even though I don't want to date you. I want to date Elizabeth, but I need you, and so I hate that we fought. And so take this money, and let's keep dating. And Cody can see right through that shit. Cody in the background, like I can see through. I gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. And so that's them. That's them. Now let's go to Sunny and Jason because, like I said, Lucas with the Carly was like, "Hey, can you make it so Sunny don't kill my boyfriend?" She was like, "Let me see I'll do my best." Sunny and Jason are pretty much talking about everything that went down and how Sunny didn't kill homophobe Marie Santos, but he does think that him denying her his love did. He was like, that bitch thought we were gonna move to Belize together, which I don't know where she got that from. And you know what, Sunny? Neither do I. Neither do I. A lot of us don't. We're all confused. But he's like, yeah, she thought I was moving to Belize, and I think that like when I told her I wasn't moving to Belize, she kind of just like she went overboard. She did what she needed to do. She went to the great beyond. Jason's like, what about the DA? Because you know that bitch is crazy. And Sunny's like, nah, I romanced her. I was like, listen, I think it's both our faults. I think it was like you not letting her have an attorney. It was me not going to Belize with her ass. And like this is a combination of all that with drugs and alcohol. Just it did not work. And I think she believed it. I think she good. And I'm probably gonna sleep with her. So everything is good on that front. What we need to worry about is White East African warlord because I'm sick of his shit. Because even though homophobe Maria Santos is dead and she didn't get no evidence to the DA, I still got to get out of deception. I don't like that shit. I liked being a part of it. I liked, seeing the gals and seeing what they were about. And now I can't do that. I can't go hang out with my gals anymore. And I don't like that. And I'm going to go after Latino son. I can't hang out with the gals. I think that he went after my daughter with Charlie's because they don't think that, and I don't know if they're gonna have it be two different things, but they were like the bombing at the penthouse was very sophisticated, so it's giving WSB, where like we saw them, they were just dumping gasoline at Charlie's, so that's giving mob, and so they don't think it was the same person, but they def think that White East African warlord did the Charlie shit because like they don't think it's Selena Wu because Sunny was like, that's my girl. Like, I don't even know why she would do some shit like that. and she got a town which is giving cover up. It's giving cover up, and I don't like it. Um, and Jason's like, listen, if you want to go after Latino son, I already set that shit up, all right? Because I heard you the first time, and I'm about that life. So you let me know. And so Sonny's about to be like, bet. Before he could say bet, knock, knock, knock. Who's at the door? Carly. Hey, heard you about to go after Latino son. Can't let you do that because then another one of my children are about to die and I can't have it. And that's where we end with them. Final thing is Sasha essentially being like, I refuse to be yellow wallpapered. I'm gonna take my baby and go into hiding. Now, here's the thing. There has been rumors about Sophia Matson leaving, particularly around this storyline. She is in next week's episodes. I did peep that in the spoilers, so I don't know if she's leaving. But also, how does like going into hiding? I guess if you're hiding from, because when she first said I have to move, and I thought she would just go like leave and like let me move to like San Francisco or some shit. I'm like, how does that protect your baby? But she was like, I have to leave and go into hiding, and I'm like, I feel like that's a little extreme. Um, but whatever. There's more coming because Michael is definitely like, hell no, girl. I'm a veto that plan right away. And so that is pretty much Wednesday's episode. I'm seeing my notes. Did I forget anything? I did not. Okay, so I will be back in a sec with Thursday. And so see you in a sec. And we're back. Thursday. Thursday was a little slower. These middle episodes, like they're really great at a Monday episode, and I feel like I've said this before. Like they're great at a Monday episode, and they're sometimes great at a Friday episode. Like they're sometimes good at making you like want to watch Monday, but those middle episodes sometimes they drag. And so this one kind of took a second. Um, Definitely ate some dinner, but what happened? What happened? What happened? So we had the like we finally got the repeat episode. We got the repeat photo arc episode with Joel Sartori. They said this name 1,000 times. You think I would know? Like Sartori, I'm not sure. But he was there and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is a new one. This is about the babies. The babies is getting the shout out this time." And White East African like warlord looked delighted. He was like, "Ooh, baby animals!" The face he was had on his, the look he had on his face was hilarious. Essentially, he was just like, "I'm so delighted by these animals," which is hilarious because Latino son is over at GH being traumatized. I'm gonna get into it, but like he was like, "Ooh, look at these babies," and he ends up telling Jordan like after he's done being delighted by the babies, he tells Jordan that Sonny was gonna take homophobe Maria Santos to Belize, right? He was gonna take her to Belize, wink wink. You go look at the flight plan, you go see that he's gonna take her ass to Belize to never be heard from again. We all know what happens when you go to the Belize. Someone, one of my followers on Twitter was like, getting sent to Belize is something that they like said on, like, I think it was Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad. It might have been Breaking Bad. It's more sinister if it's Breaking Bad, but like that was like a euphemism for murdering someone. So it really does sound like he was gonna murder her, even though we do know he was gonna actually send her to Belize. And so it's it's an interesting dynamic, I'll say, at the photo art gallery. Geo ends up overhearing the whole conversation and he ends up running to Sunny. I'm gonna talk about that later. There's a weird scene with Emma and Jocelyn where Emma's like, "Did you get into that lab yet? Because look at the baby animals. All animals are beautiful." And Jocelyn's like, "No, I didn't get into the damn lab. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you about it. Like, girl." And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna go make out with your ex. Goodbye." And so that happened. There was a moment where I thought Trina was talking to a random extra, and then at the end of the episode, I learned it was actually Joel Sartori's wife. I was like, "Oh, that's cute. Like that's, yeah, bring your wife in. Get, yeah, girl, get your life." Um, then of course there was the honeypot. There was Cody honeypotting because Christina was like, "Nah, get back in the game," and so this was like so weird. So you got like Cody, Liz, Ava, Rick, and so like Ava and Rick are there. Rick is like, "Oh, look at this! Like you did the damn thing, girl. This is a gallery opening. So proud of you." Ava's like, "Thank you so much." Cody is like, let me start hitting on Liz. Let me see how that shakes things up. And so he's like, Elizabeth, did you know I hung these paintings? Let me go show you the best ones. And then he accidentally throws like wine on her. And Rick just immediately is like, I'm here, I'm coming, I'm here to help. I have tissues, I'm here. And of course, Abe was like, the fuck? And so Cody's like, bet. And, Liz is busy trying to not get back together with Rick. So she's like, I'm going to go. This is awkward. Like, I'm covered in wine and I don't want to be in this situation. I'm going to leave. And so she leaves. Ava is now talking to Cody because, she's not going to be just like, cucked in her own fucking art gallery, which is what Rick wanted to do to her. Literally trying to bring Liz on a date to the art gallery that Ava owns when he's dating her. It's crazy. And so she's like tee hee hee with fucking Cody. He comes like, hey bitch, get over here. And so they get into like this abusive ass fight where Rick is just like, girl, what the hell? I've always been good to you. Are you serious? You should be grateful to me that I let you benefit, let you profit from my pain and suffering. Ava's like, bitch, you wouldn't even know about your pain and suffering if I didn't tell you. What are you talking about? And like, he's literally just pretty much, essentially, like I said in the last episode, letting her know that he's only dating her because he's blackmailing a baby with her. Like, we're blackmailing a toddler. We're blackmailing Alexis to embezzle from a toddler. So we have to be together. And, like, she's just like, bruh, fuck you, you old bitch. And he's like, I'm gonna leave before you say some shit that you're gonna regret because you can't break up with me because we're currently blackmailing Alexis and to embezzle from a toddler. And so that was pretty much like the gallery, the events that happened there. I thought we were gonna get what is it, unattractive biracial ex football player telling Trina, but no, I'm guessing that's Friday, so I gotta wait till Friday's episode to see that. But she was like, "Where is ex football player at? What's going on?" I guess Drew kept him late, because he was. Let's get to Drew. Oh my God, Drew is so creepy. So Drew is with creepy council person. Like, ooh, I have a new plan to torture Laura with. They're still like terrorizing Laura. It's crazy, just running around terrorizing her. It's actually weird, but he has this like crazy plan that I'm gonna get to in a second when I talk about Laura. But Drew's like, bet, go live your life, do what you gotta do, man. I'm just trying to do my evil plan. He goes to see Curtis. We get a repeat of Felicia being like, the sex worker done bounced. So I don't know what to do without that. Sorry about that. Um, Unattractive biracial football player comes in and is like, I told Drew that you were gonna do bad things to him. It's my fault. Curtis is like, bruh, you literally, so you were in my house overhearing shit that you weren't supposed to overhear and then just telling on me, just betraying me with it, like in my own home when I was feeding you. I broke bread with you and that's how you were paying me. He's like, you were out here framing people. Like, I don't know why you mad at me. He's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. Drew is like, he doesn't he? Doesn't he know what you're talking about? Curtis is like, wow, wow, and so he's like, bet we're good. I don't need you. Obviously uninvited to my house, but we're good, bruh. Go tell my daughter what you did though. Go do that. Go see how she feel about that. I'm interested in how she gonna take that. And so go live, go be free. He's like, I will, but like I said, we don't get to see it, so I guess I'm gonna see it in a sec, like, cause I haven't watched Friday yet. But um, Drew is essentially like, I don't know why you. He kind of gagged him. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not on Drew's side, obviously, but I'm not on Curtis's side because I hate Curtis. Y'all know that. But Drew did kind of gag Curtis when he was like, "You and your wife are the ones out here hiring sex workers to lie on me and drug me and do all these things, but you really out here acting like I'm the bad guy. Make it make sense." And I'm kind of like, Curtis. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of ate with that. I could never give him a 10 because I don't like him, but I will give him an 8.5 because like, where was the lie? Like, honestly, where was the lie? And so Drew is like, here's what's good. You about to do what I say because you don't have a choice. Curtis, in his, the only defense I could ever give him is that he does try to be like, bruh, you're not gonna do shit. Like, let's keep it cute. Like, you're not gonna do shit because you don't want to lose the leverage that you have over me and Portia. So, like, why should I do anything for you, to be honest? Drew is like, do you want to risk that right now? Like, if you telling me you're not gonna do anything for me, why should I keep the thing over you anymore? Why don't I just go to the hospital, tell them that she ain't shit, and then go to the PCPD and tell them that y'all both ain't shit? Why don't I do that? And so he essentially gets Curtis to do some like, did Sonny off homophobe Maria Santos expose piece on Sonny. That's what's happening there. You get this weird Portia on Stella because Portia's like, I'm gonna go to the gallery and see if I can run into Curtis because he's supposed to go. Because Trina thought that Curtis was gonna go, but not Portia. But Portia's the one who ends up going. Because, oh yeah, another thing that happened at the gallery is that, like, so Portia sees on Stella. On Stella's like, are y'all okay? And she's kind of like, yes and no. Stella does like that older black woman thing where she's like, y'all gotta protect the love you have. You know, you need to dig deep and maybe you need to talk to the pastor. Like, you know, the stuff that old black people do when they think that you're heading towards a divorce that they don't approve of. And so she does like, okay, yes, yes, ma'am, I will do that. And goes to the gallery to get into a fight with Jordan, who once again I'm still on Portia's side because Jordan is such a clown because she could not wait to tell Curtis that Portia dumped iced tea on her, but then she runs up on Portia like, I just want you to know that I was the bigger woman, and I told Curtis that I'm gonna step away because I can't be in someone's marriage. Portia's like, all right, I'm sure he loved that shit. I'm sure he was like, oh my god, you're so selfless. You're so selfless, Jordan. I see you. I see you, you loser ass bitch. And I'm ready. And I know that some people hate it. I understand if you hate it. I'm not coming for you. You're allowed to hate Portia. I don't hate Portia. I've never been more on her side in my life because Jordan is such a loser in my eyes, right? So if you see it a different way, that's valid. We're just seeing it two different ways. But like for me, I'm like, Jordan, you are too beautiful to have this type of loser ass energy. To want the man who left you for this woman back. Like, if she was doing this on some real conscious shit, like, I think that would be different. If she was doing this on some real, you stole my husband, I'm gonna steal him back just to let you know that I can, just to let you know that I gave you my husband, you ain't shit. Like, then maybe I could stand the behavior. But the fact that she's just like, me and Curtis just have such a complicated history in Baltimore, and so shut the fuck up, girl. Stand up. Stand up. I would prefer her to fuck white East African warlord before fuck Curtis Ashford again. That's crazy. That's crazy because like, if someone said, who would you rather have sex with, the man who plays white East African warlord or the man who plays Curtis Ashford, I would definitely be picking Donnell. No offense, white East African warlord, you are also a very handsome man. I had to pick. I had to choose. And so I would, based on physicality, pick Curtis, like Donnell, obviously. But in this storyline, I would prefer if Jordan just fucked White East African Warlord on some like spy shit, then like tried to then fall back in love with her ex husband who left her for the woman she fighting him over. Like loser. Loser ass behavior. So when Portia was like, ha 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 bitch, I see you, raggedy loser bitch, I was like, yeah girl, let's go. Fuck her. And so that's what happened with them. We see Aunt Stella again in Laura and Martin's story. So like Laura and Martin are like at the hospital. Martin's like, "Oh my god, I feel so much better." Laura's like, "I'm so glad to hear that. That's so great." Aunt Stella rolls up like, "Oh, it's so glad to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better." He's like, "This woman is a godsend. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna tell everybody that Stella Henry is a godsend. And you need to go to Stella Henry if you got problems because she gonna work them out. She gonna fix your problems because she fixed mine." And Stella's like, shh, bestie, shh, be quiet, shh. Come and talk to me for a second, bruh. Slide over here. And so they go over in a corner, and Aunt Stella is like, bestie, listen. Okay, so I don't know if you know, but this country's fucked up, right? It's fucked up. And so you are old, you an old man, and your back was extra fucked up. Like you needed several bacchiotomies. And so some might say that the accident that you had did not lead to the need for all them bacchiotomies that you already needed said bacchiotomies before you fell. And so what I had to do was I had to go and say, nay, he was a healthy 72-year-old man who never needed a bacchiotomy in his life. And some people might consider that insurance fraud. And so I need you to just keep it on the DL that I did all that because that is a crime. And it's a very interesting thing when GH tries to sort of like highlight a real life issue because this is obviously like a real thing that like in America, I know I have some like a handful of people who are outside of the US. Obviously in America, we do not have universal health care. Like most you either get health care through your job or there are some kind of semi like state sponsored options, but obviously a lot of that is very much in danger today. And so it's interesting when GH decides to like tap into this shit, but obviously they don't do it in a meaningful way. Like I was waiting for the episode to end with Laura being like, this is gonna be my new platform. That like while this man's over here talking about like let's build like a new Third Street Promenade and shit on the boardwalk that no one can fucking afford because they too busy trying to pay for their bacchiotomies. That would have been interesting, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They just were sort of like, yeah, I did that, and don't tell anyone because it's illegal. And I don't know if we come back to it, but I liked it. I like when we highlight real things, but we're not gonna get back to it. Like if we do, I will eat those words, but I feel like we're not gonna come back to it. We're not gonna come back to it at all. But I liked it. And essentially, Martin was like, girl, if anything ever goes down, I'm going to be your lawyer. So don't even worry about that. And so I wondered, are they saving that? Is that something we're putting in the chamber for later? Like Stella does get charged with insurance fraud. And so Martin has to be her attorney. Maybe it's like a big class action thing. And that's how we like, he gets his money back. I don't know. If I'm giving y'all stories, feel free to take them. Feel free to take them because I'll watch them. I will. But let's move on. So, Laura is like wandering through the hospital for reasons, and I guess she was there to see Martin after his bacchiotomy, and Lucas and Latino's son are there now. Lucas gives Latino's son his mama's things. Latino's son is obviously very upset. He definitely thinks Sonny did that shit. He asked Lucas like, so I hate Sonny Corinthos. Is that a problem? Because I know that you got people in common with him. Lucas is like, I no kin to me. Like I said, I get that, but then you also are out here talking to Elizabeth Weber, talking about your family versus his family. Which is it, Lucas? Like, is he no kin to you, or is that your family and now you West Side Story? Let us know. Let us know, Lucas. But Lucas and him are talking when like creepy council person comes up, like with a whole news crew, like a whole ass news crew. Like, hey, tell us about your pain and how Sonny Corinthos killed your mother. Um, Latino's son is like, my mom is dead, and the people responsible should be held accountable for that. Laura, like I said, wanders through the hospital, rolls up, sees the news crew. The council person's like, the mayor, are you going to condemn Sonny Corinthos for killing this innocent woman, or, harassing her until she killed herself? Laura is like, I'm not going to talk to you about this. Like, you want to debate me? Let's debate. But I'm not going to talk to you about closed investigations or open investigations or anything that I shouldn't be talking to you about because, bruh, what the fuck? Like, the woman's son is standing right there. Like, are you serious? And so, creepy council person's like, you hear this shit? You hear this shit, Latino son? Like, she really not gonna say that Sonny Corinth don't say shit. Like, can you believe it? For Latino son's part, he's like, listen, bruh, my mama dead, and I don't know what you're doing, but I don't appreciate it, and I don't approve of it. And so you can get the fuck out my face, actually. And so creepy council person has to go because he looks stupid. And so Laura is like, thank you so much. Like, because I really did not want to have to deal with that. Latino son is like, listen, I do not fuck with creepy council person. And I 1000% think that Sonny Corinthos did that. And you fuck with him. That's your bestie. What the fuck, girl? And so Laura's like, look, we share a grandson. We share a grandson, so he's my family. I do not make that type of leap, the family leap that Laura so very much wants to make with Sonny, that we are family because we share this fucking one person in common. It's the same logical leap that Lulu makes with Geo. Like, her son and Geo are brothers, therefore that's her family too. Girl, that's not how that works. Actually, that's not how that works. You're not That's not kin to you. But whatever. Laura's like, that's my family, and so I have to stand by that man. Latino son is like, cool. He ain't shit. You ain't shit. Great. Council person ain't shit. It's a town of ain't shit people. Good to know. And so Latino's son is really on one. I don't know what happens. I don't know how this ends, but I feel like he's the one character that, like, he makes it out. Like, he realizes that his daddy ain't shit. Still doesn't like Sonny. He still doesn't fuck with Sonny. He might take that Jax position that's been really just vacant. Like, Drew wants to be the new Jax, but it's not working out. But I think Latino's son might be able to pull it off. But that just person that just hates Sonny. Like, he understands that his daddy ain't shit in the end, but he also knows that Sonny ain't shit. He just never loses that energy. Like, he could be that person. Or they kill Latino's son, and that's what pushes white East African warlord into the Anthony Zakara crazy, we gotta kill him territory. I don't know. I don't know which way we go. We'll see. But I'm saying Latino son's a viable character. He's very much like, he could just learn his daddy ain't shit, and we could keep him. We keep him. He doesn't need to be besties with fucking Sunny. He doesn't. But moving on. So then we got Sasha and Michael. It was another double bluff. It was another double bluff because, like, the end of the last episode, I'm pretty sure I was like, Michael was like, you can't take this baby, bitch. And it turns out he wasn't like that. He was like, nah, that's not what I meant. I meant, like, you can't take it like this. We gotta do it smart. We gotta be, we gonna do it together. Sasha's like, obviously, you got two kids. You in a custody fight. Drew ain't shit. Willow ain't shit. You can't go. So I don't know why you're pretending like you can go. Um, I honestly, I don't know what we're doing with Misha. I don't know what we're doing with Misha. I wish we were doing something else, but I feel like I don't know what we're doing with Misha anymore. Michael is like, I'm gonna support you. I believe you, girl. I do not think that you're crazy. I'm not gonna yellow wallpaper you. I'm not Olivia or Chase or any of these asshole people who trying to yellow wallpaper Sasha. I see all y'all. Y'all ain't shit. And he tells her, like, we gotta do it right. He calls Jason. Jason was with Carson because Carly showed up. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Jason comes and he's like, okay, so you want to disappear you and this baby. How you feel about that, Michael? I understand this idea of, like, Michael should have a say. But like they had a whole conversation about how she don't want him on the birth certificate, so he wouldn't have a say, so she could make these decisions on her own. What was the point of him agreeing to this if everyone in his life is gonna be like, nah, I actually defer to Michael and Michael only. Whatever. But Michael's like, yeah, do what she wants. And so he's gonna help her do some shit. Jason's like, look, sucks that this has to happen to you, bruh, because at least me, I was actually mobbing. So when Sam was keeping me from my son, at least she had a legit reason. But like, you really just caught up in some shit that has nothing to do with you. Like, you didn't have nothing to do with that, and I'm super sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that that's happening to you. He's like, bet, I don't know, some shit's going down. We just gotta do it. So I don't really know what's happening with this, because like I said, Sasha's in next week's episode, so it's like that's her last day. We haven't got the announcement of anything yet, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And so the real final story is the Carson story. So like third, no, Wednesday, this Thursday, Wednesday's episode, Lucas is like, hey, can you go talk to Sonny, on my behalf to his sister Carly? So Carly goes talk to Sonny, and she's like, you can't start a mob war. You can't kill Latino's son, because then he gonna kill one of our children, and then you gonna do something else, and then he gonna kill another one of our children, and eventually we're not gonna have no more children. And we're not together anymore, and we're both old, so like we're not having any more children. This is all the children we're gonna have. This it. And so, what do you want? You want all the children to get got, or do you want to find a amicable solution? Sonny's like, there's no amicable solution. Like, if I don't do anything, he just keeps blowing shit up. Like, I don't know what you want from me at this point. That like, he's blowing shit up. He blew up Michael. He blew up Christina. I don't do nothing. He keeps blowing people up. What you want me to do? What do you want me to do, girl? And I'm like kind of on the fence because they're both kind of right. Like I see where Carly's coming from. Like, bruh, we can't keep doing this. Like, you gotta find a different way. But then Sonny being like, what's the way? Like, y'all keep telling me to find a different way, but y'all also don't produce a way. You're not like, here's an alternative plan. You're just like, find a different way. But what fucking way? Because this way that I've been doing, where I don't retaliate, has produced zero fucking results. It's got Michael blown up, and it's got Christina blown up. It got me attacked in fucking California, get heart surgery. Homefront Marie Santos is dead. Like, what you want? Like, a bunch of Selena Wu's men are dead. Like, a bunch of people are dead. I'm just sitting here on my hands being peaceful. You telling me to find a different way. What's the other way? What's the alternative way? And that's my thing. It's like, what's the alternative way? What's the other way? Especially when we see nothing but white East African warlord doing stuff, just doing stuff. And so Carly's about to say some shit when Geo shows up, because he overheard white East African warlord talking about the plane and shit. And at first I thought he was gonna go and like read Sonny down and be like, "Oh, this is what you were doing. You go kill homophobic Maria Santos." But instead, he goes full mobster and he's like, "Grandpa Sonny, like they're about to put a case against you." Sonny's like, "Don't talk to me about business, son." Like full mobster, like, "Don't talk to me about that. We don't talk about that." He's like, "Grandpa," and it's like the first time he called him Grandpa. So funny. He's like, "Grandpa, I just want to help you." Sonny's like, "You can't help me, son." Like, there used to be, he gives a classic Sonny Corinthos speech where he's just like, long ago, I used to think my choices were my own, and now I realize that the people I love gonna get hurt, but it's too late. It's too late to go back. And so now I can only keep them safe. And like, Gio's just got tears in his eyes, like, "I'll never leave you, Grandpa Sonny." And Sonny's like, "You got to, son. Got to stay away from me. Because I know when Tracy said I was dangerous, you got mad, but she was right. She was right, son." And he was like, "No, Grandpa, no." It was so funny. Excuse me. It was so funny. He was just like, "No, Grandpa, no." Classic Sonny speech. But he was like, "You gotta stay away from me." He essentially old Yeller. He old Yeller is or what was it like that where he had to send the wolf? It's not Old Yeller. They had to kill Old Yeller because he got like rabies or something. But He had to send him away. Like, get out, get Geo. They hugged. They like got teary eyed. It was very funny. It was very funny. It was a hilarious way to end Thursday's episode. But that was Thursday's episode. This one was the longest one out of all of them, oddly enough. And I was like, this is so boring through most of it. And I've been talking for like almost a half hour. So let me go watch Friday's episode. And yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we're back. I don't know if this was a quicker way of doing this or a longer way of doing this. I've already forgot what time I started doing it. But we're finally at the end. I watched I have watched 0 episodes. I think it's like 8:11 at night Pacific Coast time, and I think I started around 3, so like 5 hours. So yeah, that's 5 episodes, 5 hours. Yeah, that's legit. But okay, Friday's episode, we did it. Let's finish it. Let's finish strong. I don't know when people are gonna listen to this. Like I said, it's coming up so late. But so Friday's episode, we pick up after the repeat episode of the photo art gallery exhibit. Um, Emma is at that one bar, what the Brown Dog or whatever, the replacement bar for the floating rib. But she's there with that grown man, Dollar Tree Dex, and like Anna comes in because she's supposed to be meeting Felicia there, and she peeps like, the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck's my granddaughter doing with this grown ass man? And so she sees attractive biracial doctor at the bar. She's like, hello, attractive biracial doctor. Um, can I use you to spy on my daughter? He's like, yes, take a seat. Let's Kim test. Attractive biracial doctor is such a whore. like I'm not on purpose. The show is making him be a whore, but he's a whore nonetheless because he be kimming with everybody, just kimming with everybody. But Emma is with this man who is honeypotting her. Anna is like, hello, hi, I am her grandmother. Let me buy you a drink. Because he had peeped Anna in the corner. He knows Anna's a WSB agent. Pikeman was like, get Anna off the case. So he sees Anna. He's like, girl, let's get out of here. Anna's like, hello, because she better at this than him. It's like, let me buy you a drink. He goes to the bathroom. He's like, I have to go to the bathroom. Calls Joss, get me out of here. Anna done. She spotted me. She got me. Josh shows up like she's playing like an unhinged version of herself for Emma's benefit, who, like I said, is kind of being played like a dummy, but is she? Because I'll get to it. And so Josh comes in like, Dollar Tree Dex, how dare you run off with Emma? You have 5 seconds to come with me or we're done. And so he's like, sorry, babe, I like, she crazy, but I'm into it. And goes off with her. They start making out because Anna's looking. Anna's like, you know what? It's all good. Let Jocelyn, let Carly's daughter go run off with this grown man. You don't need to be with a grown man. Like, you better than that. It was like, you right. But then we see that she stole his keys. So I guess she's going to try and use, like, the janitor's keys to get into the lab. But why would the janitor have keys to the lab? Like, people clean up, like, the lab assistants clean up the lab. Like, the janitors don't clean that shit up. But whatever. For the plot, he might have keys to the lab. But if he had keys to the lab, then why aren't they already in the fucking lab? Like, there's no way there's keys to that lab on that man's key ring. Because if there is, then why are we even doing any of this? But whatever. That's that's part one of the bar scene because attractive biracial doctor is still there. Anna had to go do grandmother spy shit, but he's still there. We're gonna come back to him. We're gonna come back to him because like next on Friday's episode, you got Portia and Curtis. Because like Curtis got to run this like crazy, did Sonny kill homophobic Maria Santos article. So Portia shows up like, hey, like you didn't come to the gallery. I thought you were gonna come. I thought you'd be there before me. What happened? I had to read Jordan's loser ass. Like, why weren't you there? And he's like, bitch, I wasn't there because I was busy getting blackmailed by Drew because of your ass. And she's like, okay, that sucks. What happened to the sex worker? He's like, Drew found the sex worker. That shit's done. We're out of moves. Now we just have to be under this man's thumb. And so she's like, because of me. And he's like, I mean, yeah, that's what happened, right? And so He's like, don't even trip because I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to keep you safe. So don't even worry. She's like, yeah, but you doing it for Trina, right? You're not even doing it for me. Like you're not doing it because I'm your wife. Like I'm not good and honest like Jordan. And so he's like, not this again. And it's like, yes, this again because you are having an emotional affair and I'm gonna be mad about it. I'm allowed to be mad about it even if we're having a fight, even if I lie to you about, trying to change the test results of a mad woman who tried to kill our daughter. Not really, because she killed everyone but our daughter, but for plotline purposes, trying to kill our daughter. And then I got blackmailed by this man who changes test results his damn self. So I don't know why he's in my shit about it, but he was blackmailing me. And then he sold the information to his mobster aunt who then just decided to give it to Drew for fucking plot purposes as well. And now he's blackmailing us. And so it's my fault, right? Um and so they start fighting. She leaves. Michael shows up. Drew is like, so I text you to come down here because I have to run this article that says that your dad killed homophobe Marie Santos. I'm sorry. Michael is like, Drew ain't shit. But we gotta believe that we gonna get him back. Like I don't know how we gonna get him back, but we gonna get him back. And so you do what you gotta do. We're still besties. I still believe in you. I'm still a fan. I still see the vision. And I'm gonna go warn my daddy that you running this trash ass article. I'll be back. We're going to come back to Michael. Michael is not. He's gonna come back. We're not done with Michael. But I wanted to get the Purtis part out the way because it's Purtis. So, though I will say I do like Curtis. I'm Curtis as a CEO is growing on me because like I don't know what Curtis would be doing if he wasn't doing this, if that makes sense, right? Like as much as I don't think he deserves his job, and I'm still not really clear on why he has it. It's a good use of his character for the story that's happening right now because if he was a bartender or like a club owner, I guess, slash PI or whatever the fuck, like cop, he was trying to be once, like remember when he was trying to be a cop, one time he was trying to be a mobster. If he was doing any of those things, maybe if he was doing a cop or a mobster, he'd still be in the story, but we don't have to think about that. But if he was a PI or I guess if he was a PI, he could be fighting Jacinda, but then like that would require him to go to Australia, which I don't think they want. I don't think they want to have fake Australia, nor do they want Darnell off the show. Um, and so that's my long-winded way of saying that him as the CEO of Aurora is growing on me, even though it makes absolutely no sense that he's there. And so moving on. So Portia, she's on her like, fuck all this. I'm sick of being the bad guy here. Like, and that's why I'm saying I'm on her side because like I hear all of y'all about like this is Portia's fault because she lied. I hear you. I hear all of that. I respect that. What I am saying is her lying does not give this man permission to have an emotional affair with Jordan Ashford. That's what I'm saying. Is that like if you are so upset that you cannot see a future with this woman and you now have decided you want to be with your ex-wife that you left to be with this woman, then just leave this woman and go be with your ex-wife. Just ping pong between the two, but make a decision. Doing this thing where like I'm forced to stay with you out of like this honor code because we have a child is actually stupid and disrespectful. And so Portia crashing out, I don't even think it's crashing out. I think it's crashing into greatness. It's crashing into epicness because she beelines it to replacement bar for the floating rib where attractive biracial doctor is waiting and she just shows up already kind of tipsy. I don't know if she was like pre-gaming in her car, like she went and bought a 40 or something and chugged it in the car before she came in. That's like an old college trick. It's how you save money on alcohol. um but she's like, I am done being the punching bag of my relationship. And like, attractive biracial doctor has been there the entire time getting trashed by himself because like he has no idea what his purpose is in this town besides to Kim test with people because they don't actually let him do anything, right? Like he's there to answer random medical questions when homophobe Maria Santos unalives herself and Anna's got to investigate. But like whatever storyline it seemed like they were setting up for him with like Jordan and all that or Lucky or anything like that, that shit is over. And so now he's just here. And so it's kind of great that they're kind of giving like they're manifesting the like sort of waywardness of his character in the writer's room on the show, where he's now just drinking in a bar. He's just getting trash in a bar for no reason, seemingly, because they didn't give us a reason why he's there by himself drinking, just waiting for random female characters to happen upon him to chem test. But he's super into it because he's just like, girl, you don't need to be anybody's punching bag. You are too fine to be this upset. And so, why don't we hang out? And she's like, bet, I'm gonna buy the next round. And so, Curtis who? Curtis what? Because now it's Portia, an attractive biracial doctor, rising. And like, I didn't see it coming. Like, I think other people, like I told you, I took a big gap where I didn't watch the show for a couple months. And so, I don't know if like we've been setting this up, but I didn't see it coming. Last time I was watching the show regularly, they were setting up attractive biracial doctor in Jordan. And so now that like it's attractive biracial doctor in Portia, I'm like, I have no idea that this was even a possibility, but I'm so into it. I'm so into it, like it's crazy. But moving on, let's talk about oh yeah, let's stay with the Ashfords. Trina. So, unattractive biracial ex football player finally tells Trina that she betrayed him. Or that he betrayed her, that he betrayed her whole family. And he's so dense about this. He's like, I did the right thing. I did what I had to do. Like, we wouldn't have respected me if I hadn't. Sir, are you serious? Like, so you're telling me that I wouldn't have respected you if you didn't betray my entire family? Make that make sense. Like, sir, what are you talking about? What do you mean? But she dumps his ass essentially, and he like tries to like counter this by being like, "I love you, girl." Bruh, what? That's what you're. I'm actively dumping you. Like, I'm in the process. Like, we're not even like in the pre stages of the dumping, and you're throwing this at me because you can feel the dumping approaching. Like, I'm actively breaking up with you, and you're like, "But I love you," and it's like, no, bruh. No. No, we're done. Like, you only get one time to betray my family. Like, there's not it's not a Spider-Man situation where everyone gets one. Like, no, you betray my family one time, we're done. And like, it's a soap, so are they done? Like, do they make up? I hope not. I hope not. No offense to this young man, because like, it's not the young man, it's the storyline. Like, the storyline is so bad. It's so bad. And like, they didn't even give him like a good reason. He's just like, gee willikers, Trina, what did you want me to do? I was doing the right thing. Sir, be so fucking serious. Like, be so serious right now. You had to have known she was gonna dump you. Like, you didn't even give her a heads up. And like, I'm not like, I understand like, well, he couldn't give her a heads up because then like the parents would counter move before Drew could counter move. But like, bruh, you really just like let her bare her soul and be like, oh, I haven't loved like this since Spencer, and then you were like, actually, I betrayed your entire family. So, so that happened. But yeah, I think that's done with the Ashfords. Let's go to like the whole Rocco's a stolen embryo baby. That storyline is really like, I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's going. This week it's gone so many places because it's happening so fast, which I'm not complaining about. But like, okay, so like, it's Lulu like narcs on Brooklyn to her mom, which I don't. It's the way it was set up because I don't have a problem. Like, I obviously Lulu's gonna tell her mom. It's it's not it's not crazy that she's like, hey, mom, this happened. It's like the way she told her mom. She was like, mom, I need your help to protect Rocco from Brooklyn. And, Laura is rightfully like, protect him from what? Like, what's going on? And, like, it sounds like Brooklyn's, like, bullying him. Like, she's stealing his lunch money every day when he gets off the bus. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, Brooklyn told Rocco about Brit. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the only thing. That's all she could do. It. that's done. Like, what are you worried about, Lulu? You worried that, like, she's gonna what? Sit him down and have, like, weird fucking chats with him and become besties with his ass like you're doing with Geo? That weird ass behavior that you're doing? You fucking weirdo. Like, no offense to her fans. I love you guys. Like, honest to God. Like, cause if you guys are talking shit about characters I like, that's fair. That's fair. I personally think Lulu is a weird ass bitch. But, like, I do understand why she called her mom. I just think it was weird framing. Like, oh my god, you gotta help me. Like, she doesn't need to help you. Like, she helped you by, like, calming you the fuck down, to be honest. Like, babes, please calm down. Like, sometimes your children find out fucked up shit and it changes the way they think about you, and that's fine. Like, because, like, the love is still there. And so, like, you let him have his feelings, let him ask his questions, but, like, you gotta chill the fuck out because, like, your energy is so fucking bad. And, like, I wouldn't want to ask you anything because I'd be worried. I'd be so worried that you're gonna break down because your energy is like fucking off. Like, I walked in the house and I almost got suffocated to death by it. And Laura's really trying to explain this to her, because Laura had to do she had to explain being essayed by Luke to Lucky, and that was terribly handled. I mean, like, just awful. And that was the 90s. And so she's got experience with it. She ends up talking to Rocco, gives like a classic Laura speech that, sounds great, where she's just like, babes, you were so wanted. Like, you are, because, Rocco's like, I just feel like I'm only here, like, because they're stuck with me, because, this crazy woman made me, and now they're just trapped with this baby. And Laura's really like, babes, like, I get that. I hear you. It's valid. And, like, you weren't here. And, like, IVF is so intense, like economically, like on a female body and stuff. Like, all a dude's got to do is like splooge in a cup, but like for a woman, like that shit is real. And so, like, no, babes, when we say you were wanted, like, you were so wanted. Like, we're not gonna get into someone else's storyline and their child's origin story, but babes, trust me when I say the drama over bringing you into the world was real and legendary, fucking believe that. And so Rocco's like, he feels a little bit better, but then he goes upstairs and like writes an email to Obrecht. So I'm guessing that's how we get Obrecht back, and that's probably how we find out that Britt's still alive. I'm guessing Britt's still alive. Like, it could be that Kelly Thiebaud's coming back as a different character, but I'm guessing it's Britt because there's just so much mention of her that it would be silly to have like a fucking Rebecca situation. And if you don't know who Rebecca is, don't even worry about that. Don't even trip about that. Don't even ask about it. Google it if you want to Google it, but don't ask me because I don't want to talk about it. And so, that's the Lulu, Laura, Rocco of it all. But the final thing that happens that I thought was crazy, I was like, oh, so at the Quartermain Mansion, there's two competing storylines. I would like to award Husband of the Year to Harrison Chase, but also issue a warning because that final sentence they gave him, it got me nervous. I gotta be real, okay? Chaylin fans, don't be mad at me. Because me and the Chaylin fans, I've had such a rocky relationship with Chaylin fans because back in the day, I was very about that Blazer Lynn life because it was funny and it was never about Amanda. Amanda is a beautiful woman. It was always about wardrobe. Like, wardrobe, please be so fucking serious with these blazers. And lately, like, we've had a better relationship because I'm very Team Brooklyn in this whole situation. When Chase said what he said, I'm gonna get into it. So, Tracy runs up on shirtless Chase. Good for Jane Elliott. She said, I want to be in a scene with shirtless Harrison Chase, all right? Everybody out here talk about their fave should be in a scene with shirtless Chase. Jane Elliott said, get Tracy Quartermain in a scene with shirtless Harrison Chase, and damn it if we didn't make it happen. And I was glad to see it. I was like, look at Tracy, she's just there with them. And so Tracy's like, Chase, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you about Brooklyn. Um, Chase really comes out real hostile. Like, why you need to talk to me about my wife? What you got to talk to me about my wife about? What are you talking about? I don't talk about my wife behind her back, actually. I'm already uncomfortable. He's just very like, what do you want to talk about my wife about? And so Tracy's like, look, I feel like she's going down a bad path. She's going after Brooklyn or going after Lulu. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you need to shut that shit down. Chase is like, I I disagree because I think that Lulu has done nothing but bully my wife and be in her business and be in business and not hers and it tell business is not hers and now Brooklyn don't have no relationship with her son and I personally blame her for that. So I'm what I'm not really seeing where Brooklyn is at fault. Tracy, this is the thing, is that Tracy has a very close relationship with Lulu. I always knew this was gonna be hardest on Tracy because Tracy not go. This is the one person on the goddamn planet that she cannot just stand behind Brooklyn against. Like she raised Lulu probably more than Luke and Laura combined. Like when it comes to like formative years that matter. And so, and like Tracy don't have a daughter, and so Lulu is the closest thing to that. And so it's awkward because she views Lulu as a daughter, and she obviously uses her as a conduit for Luke. But she views Brooklyn the way she views herself, and I think that's another reason why she's so worried about Brooklyn, is because she's like, she got that girl's a bit of me. She's a bit of me. She got crash out written all over her. And I don't want to see it happen because I've seen people been kicked out this mansion. I've been kicked out this mansion. She's been kicked out this mansion. And I don't want to see either one of us get kicked out the mansion. Chase is really like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I fucking hate Lulu too. She can go straight to hell. And so I'm not going against my wife. Like, what you want me to say? Like, you right. Brooklyn should be spending her time trying to be with her son and like trying to adopt a baby with me. And also, if she crash out, I'm gonna stand behind her. And this is what I'm gonna say. This one made me real nervous. This made I gasped when he said it. He said, "There is nothing she could do that could drive me away from her." And I was like, that is a bad omen. That is a bad omen. As soon as a character makes a declaration like that, the show is like, all right, we about to do everything we can to make him eat those fucking words. And so, what the fuck is about to happen? What the fuck is about to happen that's about to make Chase say, actually, there was some shit she could do that would make me not fuck with her no more? And so, there's that. And so and I have a feeling what it could be. I could be wrong, I don't know. But so finally you got Brooklyn crying in the dark. Michael finds her. Like I said, I told you Michael was gonna come back. We back. Michael's getting cousin of the year. Cousin of the year. We're gonna talk about it. So Michael finds her crying in the dark. He's like, girl, what's going on? Why are you crying in the dark? Let me know what's going on. That's not a that's not a request or that's not an order. It's just, I'm here to listen. And so she's just like, I done fucked up and now my son hates me even more and it's all my fault. And before she gets a chance to really explain what happened, Dante busts up. Like, bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck? What why are you coming after my son? Like why you try to hurt my son like that, bitch? And she's like, which son? Which I'm like, Brooklyn, don't be defiant. Don't be defiant. But also be defiant. Fuck his ass. You know I don't fuck with Dante. Or do I? Let me continue. So she's like, which son? He's like, bitch, don't do that. Don't do that. You know I'm talking about Rocco and what you did. And so now Michael's like, Rrr? And Brooklyn had told him earlier in the week what she was planning, but she said she won't do it. So now Michael's like, oh. And so, Dante is like, look, you gotta stop trying to come after Lulu. Like, you gotta be so fucking serious at this point. Like, you did what you did. And at this point, if he don't fuck with you, because you gave him up for adoption. That shit's all you, bitch. And at that point, Michael's like, bruh, I'm gonna need you to take several seats because you're not gonna talk to her like that. You and me, we don't know what it's like to carry a child, to give birth to a child, and let alone to give up a child. So I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up and don't ever say that to her again. Thank you, Michael. We're clapping for Michael. Michael and Chase, the VIPs of this week, because the biggest feminists in this town are fucking men. Make it make sense. And so, at that point, Brooklyn's like, Michael, thank you so much. I love you so much. Cousin of the year. I need to talk to Dante. And so, I'm going to need you to bounce. He goes to go see Curtis, crusty ass, so Curtis can talk about, like, being blackmailed by Drew. Brooklyn talks to Dante. Dante's like, look, Michael's right. I shouldn't have said that shit to you. That was braggedy. My bad. I just don't know why you're doing this. Like, why are you doing this? Like, to me at this point. Because, like, hurting Rocco hurts me. Like, I get that you trying to hurt Lulu, but why you hurting us? Like, what do we do? And Brooklyn's like, look, I'm crashing out. I don't know what to tell you. I'm crashing out. I'm so, so sorry. I did not mean for that to happen. Like, I know it happened. I know it's my fault. I have to live with it. I'm going to have to sit with that forever. That I did that to him. And believe me, I'm sitting with it. I'm sitting with it. But I'm crashing out because my son won't talk to me. And now, because now he knows that I did it, and he thinks I did it on purpose, which I kind of did. But fuck it, and he's even more mad. And now he doesn't want to fuck with me even more. And so, fuck. And so, she's like, only good thing that come out of this is that since he thinks I'm trash, like maybe he'll be more receptive to you. And Dante's like, bruh, that's not what I want. Like, I want us both to have a relationship with him. Like, at the end of the day, I just need you to stop crashing out. Because, like, bitch, what the fuck? And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. Like, I know, like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, look, I'm not gonna forgive you for the Rocco shit because that's raggedy as fuck. Like, girl, get some therapy. But also, like, we need to work together so we can get our son back. And so, like, what I need to do is stop being mad at you so we can work as a team so we can get Gio to talk to us. And they end up hugging. And they hug, like, right after Chase is like, there's nothing that Brooklyn could do that would ever make me turn on her. And I'm like, fuck. Is she about to fuck Dante? Are we. Are we doing a partner swap? Are we doing a partner swap? Are they putting BLQ and Dante together? I'm not saying I want it. I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying I like good soap. That's all I'm saying. I like Harrison Chase, and I like that he is a wife guy. And so I'm not trying to break up Jalen. I'm trying to figure out why they would have him say that. Why did you have him say that? Like, I see a bad mood rising. I've quoted so many song lyrics this episode, I feel like. But still, why would you have him say that? Why is it? And imagine if Lulu hadn't been so defiant. Because she was trying to stand 10 toes down when Dante confronted her. Like, bitch, why'd you do that? And she was like, I did it for you. I did the right thing. I regret nothing. And then he was like, cool, bitch, fuck you. And then they're like, we're not friends anymore. And he left. Like, imagine if she was just like, bruh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't have done it like that. I should have just come to you. I was really, I thought I was doing the right thing. Sometimes doing the right thing ain't doing the right thing. My bad. Imagine if she had said that instead of what she said. Imagine where Lante would be right now. That's all I'm going to say on that. But that's pretty much the week. That's all that happened. I've already forgot the other episodes, so I cannot go back to them. That's why I recorded them all separately, so I wouldn't have to think about them all. And so that's the week. Other stuff happened. The daytime memes came out. Only thing I'm gonna say about the daytime memes is like the man's an excellent actor. So like he, this is the thing. I would like they don't release the reels anymore. They used to release the reels, so they used to show us what people submitted. And I think like when we were going through it, we were like, okay, so like Laura Wright probably submitted the Bobby's funeral stuff because that was in 2024. Nancy probably submitted Sam's death because that's 2024. Kate Mancy probably did the baby's death. Um, what what did Jonathan Jackson submit? Right? Like it's nothing to do with his talent level. Like he's a talented actor. He has a million Emmys. And like but like for every Emmy he won, we know exactly the scene, not because they showed us or told us, but like when he was nominated, we were like, it's the scene of him reading Elizabeth and Nicholas in the house when he finds out about their affair. That's the scene, right? Like we just knew. Where I'm really just like, what? What did Jonathan Jackson submit? What? Okay, yeah, congrats, bruh. And so that's pretty much it. That's all I got. Thank you for rocking with this weird chaos episode where I just watched all the episode at the same time while recording this podcast. I'm probably not gonna do it this way next week. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I will hopefully watch the episodes in a more timely manner, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. Thank you for listening. If you like this, feel free to like this, leave a like or a comment. Feel free to subscribe because I'm on YouTube now. So subscribe, especially if you want me to do visuals. Like if you want me to actually add things like pictures or whatever, take the time to do that. Let me know. Like I said, if you don't, just don't say anything because I'm sensitive. But yeah, please like, subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you next week. Bye.